Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to Nobodies, the show where nobody watches and we talk about topics that no one cares about, ever, at all. I'm Dave, this is Brian, and I wanted to do a quick little video, this is going to be real quick, about, because in California here, they passed another minimum wage law where it's 15 bucks an hour. You make 15 bucks an hour just for flipping burgers.
Yay!
Yay, right?
Robots aren't going to take our jobs.
Yeah, totally, totally great. Yeah, so I wanted to kind of get the mechanics going, because we did a video earlier about banking and stuff, and I really wanted to hit home that there was this experiment this guy did on the internet. This isn't original, I can't take credit for this, but I thought it was a really cool little experiment he did, showing about everybody and their mother thinks that making more money is good, which when you think about it on the surface, yeah, making more money is good, but there are good and bad ways to do it, and the question at hand is, are you being productive? You know, is a burger flipper worth $15 an hour? You know, well, if you ask certain people, yes it is, because if you can't pay a living wage, you know, you shouldn't be in business or having that job or whatever. So I just kind of wanted to get a little example going, kind of show you people that more money isn't necessarily going to solve the problem. So, yeah, any thoughts?
Alright, let's get going.
Yeah, let's get going. Okay, everybody. This little setup here, we've got money and we've got stuff, and that's pretty much it. So, alright, got a little flash drive, and I got my funfetti, you know, good stuff, love it. This is going to represent food. Got a little coffee mug here, and then random Monopoly pieces. This is from a little special edition set, so, you know, your average, like, houses and stuff. You know, this could be apartments or whatever, you know, the cost of rent, cost of housing, that's just kind of how I would put that. Put those over there. You know, pets, going out to eat, you know, burgers and fries, travel, you know, luxury stuff. So this is just stuff, and this is the money. Now, the cost of production, to make this stuff, right, you have factories, okay, McDonald's, you know, you got people making the burgers, making the fries, electronics. All right, so let's just say, I don't know, the burger flipper, right? You know, he makes $10,000 a year, right? That's great. So burger guy makes $10,000 a year. And he wants to buy, I don't know, whatever, a house, a car, it really doesn't matter. And now we raise his wages artificially, okay? He's not being any more productive. He's not making any more or any less stuff. You just give him more money. So let's just say we double his salary, or hour, whatever. Okay, so now he's making $20,000 a year, which is actually less than 15 bucks an hour. So I think California's being pretty generous. Anyway, so yeah, now there's more money, right? This guy has twice the amount of money artificially, and like I said, he's not producing anything more or anything less. We just gave him more money. Did it change the cost of this? I mean, did any of this change? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, everything else is still the same. All you've done is just sort of inflated the money supply in a different way. The thing we're trying to that we need to differentiate here is that more money does not necessarily mean more value.
Right. It doesn't mean that you're getting any richer or any wealthier. It just means that there's more money floating around, which, and I kind of wanted to get into, minimum wage is kind of almost a little stealth inflation going on, because like I said, there's more money floating around. This guy's not producing any more or any less, so there's more money floating around. That means the cost of goods more than likely is going to go up. I mean, it's basic economics 101, supply and demand. And like I said,
if you increase the money supply by laws of supply and demand, the value of the money is going to go down. Henceforth, things are going to become more expensive. So at the end of the day, sure, he's got more money, but he does not necessarily have more value.
Exactly.
So because of that, nothing has actually really changed. Sure, he's got a larger number at the end of his paycheck, but if everything else costs more, he has more money to spend more of the same stuff. Value has not been increasing here. Productivity has not been increasing here. Mm-hmm. All that has changed is that we've got more money flying around.
That's it.
That's it. And money is just paper.
It's just paper.
That's all it is.
And I really want to stress to people that, you know, my dad growing up and his dad growing up, they didn't make $15 an hour, you know?
Even by inflation.
Even inflation standards, you know? And they were able to, and this is like my grandfather, just working by himself. Grandma didn't work. She stayed at home. Just with that one income alone, they could afford a house and a car and a dog, and they raised the kids. You know, they weren't wealthy by any standards, but they got by. And you look at it nowadays, you know, people are struggling to pay the rent. They're struggling to pay their mortgages. You know, why is that? You know, now we're going to raise the minimum wage. Are we really helping these people, or are we just shifting money around, you know? And another thing, let's just say, you know, we pay him more, we pay him a lot more. Let's just say we got an auto manufacturer. You have to pay the guy more. Well, are you going to make more, you know, to justify that? Well, how are you going to, you know, that money has to come from somewhere. You're going to pay this guy. Where's the money going to come from? You have to cut costs. You have to, you know, or else you go out of business. You can't just, this money doesn't come from nowhere. You know, it's got to come from somewhere.
And I think an important thing we need to stress out here, especially with the story you just told about your family, I mean, how did we get to this point? I mean, it's just not like, you know, magically everything became more expensive, right? It's, the economy is not in good shape. If the economy was in better shape, things could be better. But when we start doing things like inflating the money supply, we're actually creating a cycle here where things are getting worse for everybody economically. So the demands of, you know, working conditions and how much money you need to make is just going to keep escalating because of this.
Because of this. And like, you know, most couples nowadays, just talking about, you know, back in the day, you know, you only needed one guy working and you were fine. Now you need both the husband and the wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or boyfriend, whatever. You know what I mean? They both you need to have 2 incomes now to get by. Especially here in California. I mean, good Lord, you need like 4 incomes to get by. It's crazy. But, yeah, I mean...
And just like, I want to, on a side note, and especially for California, I mean, living in San Francisco is just so ridiculously hard. And you gotta wonder, like, okay, fine, I can see the minor justification of raising $15 an hour to, like, you know, try to compensate for that, but it's being done incrementally. Why would it be done incrementally unless the people who are doing this, which Jerry Brown even admitted,
he did.
It's going to hurt the economy by doing this.
Because like I said earlier, Mr. Auto Manufacturer, Mr. Pet Groomer, whatever, he's got to pay more. That money has to come from somewhere. The money doesn't just get summoned from thin air. So there are costs involved, you know, and labor is a big cost. So by driving up costs, you're not helping anybody.
What we need to do is if we have less regulation out there, the economy will become stronger. The economy becomes stronger, everyone benefits from that. I mean, that's just the basic of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, the economy's not the way that it should be. And in another episode, I talked about people don't ask why. You know, Bernie Sanders, they describe the problem, you know, but they never ask why. Why is it like this? They say, oh, people can't get by. That's a problem. Well, why is it a problem? You know, before we start coming up with a solution, you know, raising wages or stuff, why is it a problem? Could it be we have too many people flipping burgers and too many people waiting tables and not enough people building cars and airplanes and good jobs that pay more? Why is that? Why are we having so many people flip burgers and not build cars? That's your problem. You need to get to the root of it, not raise wages.
It's sort of like the equivalent of, like, cutting off the head of a weed without ripping up the root.
Exactly.
It's just gonna grow back.
Oh no, that's a good example, dude. That's exactly it. They never ask why. They just see the weed and they cut the head off and think, oh, it's solved now, and the weed comes back. You know, it's a perfect example. You just raise the wages, prices go up. Oh, we'll raise the wages some more. It's not the solution, people. And really, I mean, I hope with this example I kind of hit home because, like I said, it's the same amount of stuff. It costs the same to produce, you know, not in dollars, but in hours and labor and materials. It's still the same. The dollars just change. So I really just wanted to give this example to give you like a visual of that. So, I think that's it for me, man. You got anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. Just remember that more money does not equal more value.
Right. It's all about value. It's just paper. The value is in this stuff. It's in the stuff. It's in the labor and the time and the materials and the, the stuff. So, okay. I mean, I hope this is a good example. So, yeah. Thanks for tuning into our little example here. I hope you found it informative.
Yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that generic YouTube crap.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to comment. We love criticism, which is probably mostly what we get anyway. Yeah, and I don't want to go into more, but it's just my closing thought. Like I said earlier, just people focus on value, please. Like, this is just money. It's just money. Like, see this Monopoly money? It's the same thing as real money. You just got to think about it. It's just paper. So, please at least think about it today. That's all I ask. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Alright. Well, thank you for watching Nobodies, because we know nobody watches this show. See you next time.
Take care.